What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cut to the Chase podcast. We have a very, very special episode today. I'm here at Beacon Street Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. I am very happy to be here today. I have a guest, our very first guest at Beacon Street Studios. So I will introduce her, DJ 411.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Chase.
What's going on?
What's up?
You look very you. You look very you. I would say that you. This I'm not surprised. Of like I always like your fashion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, some days I look homeless, but some days, I gotta be cute.
I know I've seen some of those days.
We won't talk about that though. Let's just stick to the cute part.
So, guys, before we get into the podcast with DJ 411, make sure you follow me at Chase Abel. I have shows coming up. I will be at Lokai Restaurant in Drake It, March 11th, the day after my birthday. So if you're in Boston, come check me out. I'll be opening for Corey Rodriguez, headlining, and we're doing a fundraiser for the Drake It Police Department. So make sure you guys come out and support that. And then I'll be at the Comedy Connection April 28th weekend, Providence, Rhode Island. So if you guys are in the Providence area, come and check me out. You know, we were talking about having you on the podcast for a long time.
For quite a while.
Yeah, and so I appreciate you coming on. So
thanks for having me.
This is dope. So there's so much of you like I want to kind of talk about. The music that you have been. First of all, you're an awesome DJ.
Thank you.
You're an awesome DJ.
You
the type of style the type of music that you do is like so fucking just vibey and everything. So and I'm like, when I first met you, I was like, when I first party I think I saw you at, or like you had a party, or in the first Element that I saw you in your Element, I was like, she always like moves as she's dancing. She dances as she DJs, and I was like, oh, she loves music.
I have to. I can't be stiff or still. I have to move at all times. It's a different aspect being behind the turntables or controller and setting the vibes rather than being on the dance floor, because that's where I always was first, on the dance floor. So I still want to dance and play my music, so I have to do it at the same time.
At the same time.
Right.
I was a dancer myself too, so I used to pop lock and
drop it.
I used to pop lock. I didn't drop
Pop, lock, and drop it.
I remember my first, I remember my very first introduction to dancing. Do you remember? The first time?
My mother says I came out of the womb dancing.
Ah.
Yeah. My nickname actually when I was like a little kid was Boogie, because I was always
boogieing.
Boogieing.
The very first time that I remember myself like actually being exposed to like dancing was I was in kindergarten, and I was like at nap time. In kindergarten at nap time when all the kids would like take their cot.
I loved nap time.
Oh, I love me some naps.
I know.
I'm sure we'll discuss that later. But I remember like the teachers would actually wake me up during my nap time session and bring me into the playground and like with the other kids, and they would want me to dance for the other kids because I always was like a dancer. So that was my first.
So you was always entertaining the crowds.
Yeah. Well, how about yourself? Would you say
the same? Yeah. My mother would put on a Bobby Brown cassette.
Wow.
And she'd have friends over, and she'd be like, dance for my friends. And they'd be like, don't be cruel. Yeah. And I was like,
I don't want to be that way to you.
Tap dancing and shit.
Yeah. This thing, we're like the 90s, right? I would say like the...
well, that was like the 80s, I think.
That's right. Oh, yeah. It was the 80s, yeah.
It was a Bobby Brown white cassette. Don't Be Cruel. It was his first single solo venture that he did after New Edition.
All right.
Shout out to Dorchester.
Yeah. I believe, a lot of hip thrusting. Like, Bobby.
Oh, yeah. A lot of.
Yeah, a lot of. I remember Bobby, he was a little.
He must have been fucking mad bitches.
I would say he had a plethora But Bobby was that kind of full disclosure. I actually used to live in a town just outside of Boston, and I would used to see him because his baby mama. I think that's fair enough to say in these day and age, right? Baby mama. He would come and visit frequently. And I saw him in the court office too. Yeah, because I got caught up in a little bit of let's just say some me and the police department of Stoughton, Massachusetts didn't really agree with what happened on a. Yeah, it was all that dancing. They saw me dance in the middle of the street, and they were just like, "Yeah, we got to bring you in." But I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, this guy!" You could tell this guy is like lives unapologetically him. You know what I mean? So, "Don't Be Cruel" was your first. Would you say that your first? So that was your first like album?
No.
Yeah.
My first album was probably Disco Duck, which I still have. It's like Mickey Mouse and Minnie and all the characters.
Disco Duck, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has like all these like children's songs. I have all my childhood records from age 5 still. I've been collecting records since age 5, and I'm going to be 45, so it's been
That's a
while.
long time. And the records are like
I still have them.
Still have them? Because you're like the art of DJing, right? Because and we'll get into like how you got into DJing, but where do you feel right now, like the state of music is right now with like DJs and like how it's like, it seems like it's grown exponentially with like people going into DJing and like the versus like, like years ago,
I think it's oversaturated for sure. I think anyone who doesn't know me from like, so I am from Connecticut originally. I lived out there for 23 years and out here in Boston 22 years. So for me, anyone who has not known me probably 10 years plus wouldn't know the amount of knowledge and records and all of these things I have amassed growing up as a child. From when the time I was a kid, my mom had 8 tracks. And she would play them, and we would play records and dancing, singing. All of that was all good times. And that's what we did as a family. And so music was everything. Like, we don't do anything without music. Wake up, music, clean the house, music, go outside.
Right.
Everything. Still to this day.
I'm a witness to that.
It's never quiet when I'm around. It's always like all the time,
It's always like.
Right. Now the music has to inspire me to move. I can't do anything without music. I get up, I got to get up. Play something to get me going. Got to get to work. Got to wash my clothes.
Yeah. I'm like that too. I can't like sit in silence, like in terms of like, I have to have some sense of like background music, whether it's jazz, whether it's hip hop, whether it's like, something. I gotta have something in the background to make me move. I can attest to like, you're actually true about your family though. They are moving all the time.
Moving and grooving all the time.
I was able to go to one of your awesome gigs that you had in New York City that about a month ago, for a few weeks in Brooklyn. And that was an experience because as soon as like I walked into the venue, your brother was like, "Hey!" He was like
very excited.
He was very excited.
Very excited.
And he was dancing like all night.
All night. That's what we do. We dance and have fun. We love it. That's what we do as a family. And whenever you see us, we're on the dance floor. And if we're not dancing, something's wrong.
Yeah, see, where I'm from, right, traditionally, like, our dancing is a little different. Like, we're not very, we don't have a lot of positions where we dance. It's usually we just stay in one place in African traditional, like, Eritrean dance. So we actually just, like, go around a circle, like, we don't have like rhythm. Like we have rhythm, but it's like there's no like we're not freestyling in these movements. You know what I'm saying? It's very stationary and it's kind of like an Indian style.
You're gonna have to show me these moves one day because I don't think I've seen them.
Oh, I got some moves. Panda got some moves. What would you say was your moment that you said to yourself, you know what, like, listen, I gotta like cut to this, like, no pun intended, but cut to the chase and getting to this moment where like you said to yourself, I want to do this DJ. I want to do this DJ thing. Like, it's in me. What was it? Do you remember like a particular moment or time you said, fuck this, let's get to it?
Well, I got my turntables in, I want to say 2015, 2016. 2 Techniques, a rain mixer, a bunch of records, mic, tons of shit as a gift. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was dating someone who was like, listen, stop fucking around. Like, you got something. You should do it. And I was like, oh, you know, all that equipment, techniques and all of that's expensive.
Right.
And I probably wouldn't have, it probably would have been a longer progression to save up the money to get all the items that I needed, the equipment. But I got it for my birthday, and then I was practicing in my bedroom for years with DJ Rugged One, who's my teacher / mentor. Shout out to him. And we would just practice. And then 4th of July came, and some friends had a barbecue. And I was like, okay, everyone's going to do a 30-minute set. And I was the only female on the lineup, as usually I am. And I decided, like, I'm going to play some bangers, some Mobb Deep, some Smith & Wesson, some Biggie, some Nas, you know, all the good shit. Some dance hall.
Before you go forward, I just want to tap into my producer and make sure he understands these. Nick, do you know these individuals that we're referring to?
Oh, Nas.
He said
stop.
He said
stop. Like, I don't know who fucking Nas and Smith & Wesson is.
I would take that as a yes.
I have a Luther Vandross record in that closet right now.
Never too much.
Yeah. And when I meet someone that talks about Luther Vandross, I go before or after the curl.
Ooh. Oh. Big Luther or skinny Luther? Because that's also detrimental.
Yeah, you can't
gotta go with Fat
discount
Luther.
Fat Luther. Yeah, Fat Luther
was...
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yes.
Nick said yes. I know.
Nick's
hip.
Oh, Nick is, he has, Nick has a little touch of melanin aura to him, you know. Melanin energy, you know, he has
a pinch. Like when you get a coffee and they put a little cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
A little dash.
You're like, oh, this is not a regular coffee.
He's kind of like the Lebanese Salt Bay guy. Yeah. Where he just a little pinch of the.
Well, I'm Lebanese and Italian. The Lebanese side, they do the same type of dances at the Greek Orthodox functions when they go but it's the same dance.
Yes.
And they'll just do it in like a circle.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the Italians just are all over the place. They're freestyling. They're, you know.
The freestyle is freestyle. When you say dancing, I'm always, because I love to, you know, I like to move.
I love to dance.
Yeah.
Dancing is like, you know, I don't think I will ever stop dancing.
Oh, me either.
Right.
And I've gotten mixed messages. So people are like, "You're getting paid a DJ. Why are you always dancing?"
Right. No, I like to see that the DJ's like, into it.
I'm not. I gotta move. I'm feeling my own shit.
Right. Right.
I don't think people realize either. I'm excited you're here. I was thinking about, like, I have a friend who's a DJ long time back in college, and he's a true student of music. Like, I don't think people realize, like, to be a good DJ, you really have to know the history of everything.
Yeah.
And how, because it's evolved because people sample so much shit.
Oh, I love digging for samples.
Yeah. And so you know that stuff, you can kind of start to make inroads into, like, what it is today.
So, I remember that's one thing I do notice about you. Like, as far as like music, you just know, like, you have this whole library of like, you pick stuff up quick.
I try to train my brain to do that.
I'm sure, like, also, you know, with being in like would you say like DJing is predominantly like a male kind of like driven, like, or male predominantly?
So I think the tides are kind of changing right now. It was very male dominated. So in the 90s, in the late 90s, I dated a DJ, and he used to be a battle DJ and enter the DMC battles. And so I would go with him and travel with him all over. And he would battle all these other DJs. There was like one woman in the scene at that time. So everyone had DJ crews. So it was like the turntable technicians, the allies, the beat junkies, the executioners, Fifth Platoon. And Fifth Platoon were all Asian, and they had one woman cotton candy.
Well, I mean, Pearl Harbor. I mean, I understand. I'm sorry. I just...
Yeah, so there was one woman that was in the scene back then at that time that prior to her, there was another woman. I don't remember her name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But there wasn't many. You didn't see a lot of women DJing at that time. I mean, you had the Coco Chanels and all of that, but I mean, like,
Love that name.
yeah, it's a good name. But there were few and far in between. Today, however, there's a plethora of women.
Right.
And I love to see it. I mean, as a woman, it's hard enough just to be a woman, to be taken seriously, but to have talent and have the respect from your peers is a big thing too, you know? And that's one thing that is a challenge. It's like I'm not just here because I'm a woman. I actually have a skill.
Yes, yes.
I think some people are still...
I say the same thing.
Super shocked when I'm DJing and they're like, oh my God, it's a woman.
I don't get that. I don't understand how people think that.
Right.
I'm not just saying, like, I don't like, like, women set the vibe for a lot of things. Like, I won't get my hair cut by a man.
Okay, Nick.
You know my theory about this. Because women know how to just, like, they know how to tweak a room. They know how to just make everything the way it's supposed to be. I feel like men...
Make everything nice.
Yeah, men kind of just come in and they're like, this was the song I was going to play yesterday, tomorrow, whatever. And women are like, wait a minute. The vibe in here is a little bit different. I want to change it up. You have that sixth sense.
Oh, sixth, seventh, eighth sense. This one, for sure. Especially when it comes to snacks. We're snackies.
We're top 5 snacks.
Yes, let's go. We're getting into it.
Snacks.
Because me and you be snacking. We have our our snack nights.
I've had to actually tell Chase, like, I can't fuck with you no more. Like, you be coming to my house after work at 11 o'clock at night, and then we smoke a couple J's.
Oh, Chase is like the Jason Tatum of snacks.
And then he's like, let's go to McDonald's. Let's get a sundae.
Don't you?
Let's get a milkshake.
You're like, Chase, it's not 1996 anymore.
Yo,
you can't just go to McDonald's and get it.
But she be...
But then I'm like, let's go.
You're like, actually, I'm loving it.
No, this is what she'll do. She'll be like, I'll be like, you want to go to McDonald's? And she says, no, you're going to get me fat. And then as soon as we hit the J, I'll be like, I'm going to McDonald's. She's like, okay, I'm not going to eat anything. And as soon as I order the McDonald's and the vanilla milkshake that I wanted specifically, before I take a sip, she's like, can I have a sip?
Facts. And I can't have dairy, just so you know.
Yeah, same.
So that's bad business.
Yeah, it is. And that stuff is like serious.
See, I don't have a problem with dairy. Like as you can see, this is all dairy.
Nigga, you a cow.
He needs some milk.
I was a cow before. I'm more like a antelope now. No? I lost a little weight. I don't know if you noticed.
Cows can slim down.
You can.
They're skinny cows.
Skinny cow. Those are good ice creams, actually.
See, you. So I'm not a snacky as much as you.
Oh, I love to snack. My friends from like 14, 15 nicknamed me like Miss Snacky, Grubby. Oh, I stay with snacks.
And you're a little selfish with your snacks.
I'm not selfish.
Let me tell you an example.
She sounds refined.
Let me just say this. One time, I went to her house. Oh my God. Right? She said, "Hey, come over. I'm just hanging out. We can, smoke a joint. We can just like vibe, whatever." So I'm always under the impression she always have snacks at our house. I did. And for this particular night, she didn't have no snacks. And I was like, this is interesting. Why does she not have any snacks in the house? Like, there was no snacks at all. Usually she'll have like a couple little Kit Kat bars, some Snickers, Reese's. But there was nothing that night.
Nothing.
And then she went to the bathroom to do something. And I had to go charge my phone. So I went to go look for a charger or something. And I opened
a drawer.
I opened the drawer.
And there were the snacks. I hid them.
She hid the snacks for me, son.
I was like, let me hide these fucking snacks. I'm going to eat all of them.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
What?
And he found them.
Like I said, he
like,
leads the league in snacks.
I was like, and she was in the bathroom. I don't know what she was doing. She probably was doing.
I'll be going to the bathroom.
I'm not going to get into
Washing my hands, bitch.
You was
Washing my hands?
First of all, this man comes over. We're friends, so I'm fine. I'm hospitable.
kind of.
He comes over and falls asleep. He goes, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom." And I could tell. I go, "Chase, you gotta go number 2." He's like, "Yeah." I go. Just open the window. It's fine.
You let him number 2 in your bathroom?
Yes.
Oh, this one?
We're friends.
Thank you.
However,
We're gonna get back
it's
to
the
that.
last time I let anybody come in here and go number 2. Because this man falls asleep on the toilet.
Stop it.
I'm sitting in here. My wife comes in. She's like, "Where's Chase?" I go, "He's in the bathroom." 15 minutes later, is he still in the bathroom?
Is he alive?
Yes. He comes in. He goes, "I'm not even going to lie. Your bathroom is so serene and comfortable that I just fell asleep on the toilet."
There's some sound effects for that.
He's got a very nice ambiance in his bathroom. You do too. I try to go in your bathroom, but you were like, "No one's boo-boo in my bathroom."
Yeah.
You have a rule, you know that,
No
right?
number 2s allowed.
Now I get it.
There's a reason why though that she doesn't allow anyone to boo-boo in our house. And I can understand because I think you had a situation where you allowed some.
Oh, I had a situation.
Can you explain?
So I had some intestinal problems and I was hospitalized for 4 days.
Oh my God.
And when I came out of the hospital, the doctor said, "You are not going to use the bathroom for like a week." And I was like, "Yeah, right." And I literally didn't.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
At all. So my mom comes up from Connecticut and a friend of mine came over to see how I was doing. And I had a pizza, but I couldn't eat. So I give him the pizza. So it's him, me, my mom. He goes to use the bathroom. And after he left, I went into the bathroom.
Oh,
I
no.
opened the
Oh,
door.
no.
I got kicked in the face by the most atrocious stankonia you ever did smell. It was like it Jackie Chan me in the face. Wow. I was like,
Wow.
I was like dry heaving, about to throw up. I'm crying, and my mom is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Crying because the stain.
It was bad. It was so bad.
The smell's so bad. You
Yeah.
start crying.
It was so bad, and my
smelled
stomach
like-
was fucked up. Still, I had a tear in my intestine. I was like, "Ugh," and I was like,
Oh,
the stench was so.
reflex.
That's it.
I was
After
like-
that, for me, that would be it.
So listen,
Gets better.
Mom, who used the bathroom? Your friend did. Oh, my friend. Brrr. Yo, stank ass. Why wouldn't you light a match? Light a candle? Some potpourri. Something. Put the fan on. Anything. I didn't take a shit. So you saying my mama's lying?
Oh.
So you saying mom's lying?
Yep. That's what he's saying.
I was like, yo, you're not allowed in my house ever. You turtle tank, nasty ass stank. Your fucking intestines, you smell like a carcass. Fuck out of here.
Chase needs to go see an internal specialist.
No, it wasn't
It
me.
wasn't him.
Who was it? Was it the mom? Was it your mom?
No.
Who was it?
Her friend who came over. Did you
I
hear the
thought.
story?
Yeah, I thought you. I thought you
No,
were
it
the
was-
friend.
It
No.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh
Chase Abel.
shit!
No.
He really doesn't want me to shit anywhere anymore.
It wasn't him.
Whoa! Oh, so that other person's gone.
Oh, never stepped foot in my house again.
I'm like, oh my god.
Turtle tank.
It was bad.
You ever smelt a turtle tank?
Fuck no.
You know,
I
one.
just got turtle tank. I gotta write that down. That's
Yes,
good.
it was like an old
See,
5-month-old dirty turtle tank.
Yeah, I gotta say, Chase will push it to the limit, but he knows that that's not the thing to do. He'll fall asleep on the toilet, but he won't leave you with
Stank.
a bad situation.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I won't leave you with like
Right.
trauma.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that was traumatic. I have pizza.
So what happened to the friend? The friend
Yeah.
still hasn't come in.
I mean, I've seen him here and there, but I'd be
yeah.
like,
See,
nasty.
men.
I look at him like, nasty ass.
That is so disrespectful.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's a disrespectful thing.
He tried to say it was my mom.
That's how much like guilt he has about his booty hole. That he can't admit that his booty hole stinks.
We need to feel bad for this person though, because clearly there's something going on within his system.
Intestines. Like chitlins were in there.
But I'd be like, okay, so
First chitlins reference we've had on this podcast.
I'm not gonna lie though, Deb. I will only boo boo when she's like asleep. So when she goes to sleep, like I'll go boo boo. Like I'll go, but I have to be sneaky though, cause she be fucking nosy. She hears everything.
I do,
and she'll come out the one time I went to go like do like a boo boo like on the low, like a boo boo low, and then as soon as I close the door, she goes, "You better not be boo booing in my bathroom."
And at that point, it's too late.
No, because I play music, so I don't want.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. You had the music going on like so loud. We're like, what the fuck?
you have to drown out the splash.
You got to drown out the splash with the music.
Oh, but see, you've been through bathroom trauma though. With having her as a friend, you've had some bathroom trauma.
Wow.
We let you go. We walk away. We know what's going on. We try to avoid. It's the Irish Catholic guilt.
Everyone has to boo boo, but if you can help it, don't boo boo in my crib, unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
If it is, shit happens.
Yeah.
Right.
But let a motherfucker know so I can spray something.
Yeah.
Light a
Something
candle.
together. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Matches, something,
Anything.
Or just say, hey, something's not agreeing with me. Do you mind if I use your bathroom to give you some advancement?
And I'd be like, go in the lobby, go downstairs.
You do. She says, by the way, I had a key to her, like
in the lobby.
Go to the lobby.
So every time she would like ask me to like, we would hang out, whatever. She would say, come through. Like I would just be in, like I just get into her to the place, and she'd say, how do you
get in here? He was fucking someone in there. I don't know who. He had a fob to get in. I don't know.
Chase is very resourceful.
I see that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about Chase.
What would you say is one of the things that like, because DJing and comedy I feel like is simultaneously related, as like I feel like DJs are artists as well, and I think that we have to, when we perform, we're actually reading the room as well, right? Mm-hmm. As a stand-up comedian, we're reading people, right? As a DJ, you're reading people too.
Right.
Do you think there's something where it's like, can you learn how to be a DJ, or something that you kind of instinctually are born with? Do you have to have that thing? I kind of ask.
I think it's a mixture of both, actually. So, like for me personally, like I said, my mom got me this cute little record player. It might have been the Smurfs, and it was like a suitcase, and you fold it out, you unhook it, fold it out, and it was tiny. You play records on it. So for me, I've been into music all my life. Anyone that's known me for a long time, it's not a surprise I've taken the avenue that I've taken, because It's like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. It took you long enough. But then there's people that are like, I really like music and I think it's cool, and then they get into it. It's very popular. It's been popular for the past couple years. I mean, when Walmart and Target and Urban Outfitters are selling records.
Well, you know how that goes.
It's
as soon as corporations see that they can monetize on our culture, they're on it. You know what I'm saying?
But records are expensive now. It's a very expensive
like vinyl
habit.
The actual vinyl record.
It's a very expensive.
Oh, it's inflated. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would say I remember records were probably about what, like $7 of back in the days.
I don't even remember.
Do you remember the prices? Because when we look through,
they were cheap.
They were relatively cheaper, right?
And now you can find, like, I think someone gave me a Kendrick Lamar album. It was probably like $25.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it was a good album.
But the full album.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The full album. Wow.
I think like comedy, though, it depends on your preference, right? Some people like these TikTok comedians. Some people like it and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
But like some people are purists, where it's like, all right, this DJ knows where they're starting off with the original track, then going into the sample track. That. Me too. That's why it's like, all right, they're not just playing the top 20
Right,
or
right.
whatever. Like they actually have some sort of context behind like what they're playing.
I've wanted to actually like do a mixtape like that. Although someone I know did that in the 90s, so is it like biting their style? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I love samples. I love to dig for original samples and then go into the track now. That's cool.
Yeah, I got kind of tapped out when like at the point where like when people try to get into just DJing and started like making money because of their like celebritism, not because they are a purist or they know music. That's where I kind of started removing myself from like the whole, just that whole pool of people just trying to get in from the money part, you know,
Or just to be cool because it's cool,
Yeah.
Like I've actually, I'm into all of the aspects of it: scratching, beat juggling, all of that. Like I like all of that. I would love to beat juggle. To me, I think that's so dope. Like
What's beat juggling?
So beat juggling is you take two of the same song, like two records of the same thing, and you manipulate it manually to create a brand new sound.
Oh wow.
And I love that.
Nick, do you know how to do that?
Not yet, but I can just give me a week and I'll figure it out.
We'll be back. We'll be back to check on that.
I'll figure it out. I want to ask you this. What song kind of changed things for you where you heard it and you were just like, oh, this is like a different sonic wave?
So growing up in Connecticut, my mom would send my brother and I to the Bronx she'd get rid of us and be like, take these kids. And she'd drop us off at my grandparents' house in the Bronx. And, the Bronx in the 80s was just a mecca of music, culture, like hip hop. Things were just popping at the time. So I had 4 older aunts, and they would go out all the time and they would play music, excuse me, all the time. And so the track that I heard that I was like, what the fuck is this? Was Sugar Hill Gang. I said a hip, Rapper's Delight, hip hop, hip it to the hip, it to the hip hop. And I just loved it. And the track is like, what is it, like 10, 12 minutes long? It's a long ass track. And I remember hearing it on the radio and my mind was just blown because I'm like this little kid in Connecticut. Connecticut used to get shit later. So New York would be the mecca of all culture.
Yes.
And with fashion, music, everything.
Everything, yeah. Food, everything.
Me and my brother would go to New York for the summer, and then we would just take everything and just absorb everything. So the style of clothes, the music, everything. And then we would go back to Connecticut and bring our findings back and be like, like I actually thought I invented the WAP back in the day. Remember that song? No, not the song, sorry. There was a dance called the WAP. And I must have saw someone do it in New York, and then I went back to Connecticut, and I was like, and I thought I invented it, but actually I bought
before
it
social
from
media,
else. Yeah.
before you actually bring back something.
Yeah, so we would bring music back. We would bring like acid wash jeans. We would go to Fordham Road in the Bronx. That was like the shopping area. That was like Fordham Road in the Bronx was like the Newbury Street.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like that's where everybody went shopping, but urban hood.
Yeah.
I see.
mean?
Oh, okay.
So you'd go there, you'd get sneakers, you'd get your jeans, you'd get like all the clothes, and then go back to Connecticut like, I'm fresh to death.
That's interesting because I remember like in middle school, like I would remember my friends would be like, "Yo," they'd come back with like fresh shit you would never see,
And it'd be from New York.
it'd be from New York,
From New York,
and
yeah.
they'd be like, "Yo, I just got it from New York." They'd get like the fresh, like whatever, like the pennies or something, or like whatever it is, like anything that was related to like hip hop culture.
Because it came there first. It went there first, and then it dispersed to other areas. But I actually went to a Catholic school from 1st to 8th grade. So
Alhamdulillah.
So fashion for me, it's like I had to stick to this one script of wearing this plaid outfit, right? The skirt and the button down. So when I would get clothes, like for the weekend, it's like, oh, look at me.
You're fresh.
Yeah.
I can see you dressing.
Oh, always.
Did you wear like kind of like cool sneakers with the dress, or you had to wear like their?
I didn't get cool sneakers until I was like 15, maybe. Right, yeah.
That,
My mom was like, we're going to Kmart. And I was
you know
like,
what? Me too. To think about it. I didn't start getting cool sneakers until I was like 15 as well, because I worked for Champ Sports.
I worked too.
I worked in Champ Sports, and that's how I got the sneakers. Like all the sneakers that I wanted was like, right there at a discount,
Oh, I was a big sneakerhead. Still am.
Oh yeah, you are.
I wish I had all of my sneakers from 1994, 5.
I started buying them.
Crazy.
I started buying the shoes that I wanted when I was a kid.
And now they're $300 a pop.
Yeah,
For the same one. It's
yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah, and they're not made the same as well. Like if the quality
They're
of the
definitely not.
sneaker,
Different, yeah.
Definitely
right?
not.
Is that just me or like you guys?
No,
I think it's the same.
I re-got the Charles Barkley's, and they were not the quality. I returned them. I was like, this craftsmanship is...
It's not good.
What's your favorite pair of shoes?
Yeah, great question.
Sneakers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I got these classic Reebok pumps, and they have a wedge in them.
Yeah.
So I still get a little height, and they're really funky. The style is nice, and they're actually designed by a female called Melody. Her name is Melody Isani. She's in LA.
Sweet.
But I saw them, and I was like, I gotta have these.
Yeah.
It has a little. Yeah.
Oh, those are the
Those
best.
are my
I used to
favorite.
have those.
I get the most compliments on those too. I have hundreds of sneakers, and those are the ones everyone goes nuts for.
Yeah.
And they're comfy.
And they're comfy.
Nostalgic. They bring you back when you look at them. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
my
dope.
first pumps.
She always gets me on my sneakers that I wear. She loves these pair of sneakers that I have, and she's like, I wish I had those sneakers.
Oh, the De La Soul ones.
The De La Soul
Oh,
Dunks.
yeah. I know those.
R.I.P. True Goy.
R.I.P. Yeah, he passed away just recently, which is interesting because I felt so like bad for that situation because their music was just about to be released.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
De La Soul, guys, go out, check them out.
Streaming.
Go stream De La Soul's music.
Run those numbers up. Buy those albums.
Yeah.
Those are good guys.
Yeah. So, and you have a history with some of these like groups. I
do.
Yeah. Do you have like a De La Soul story or a particular story with these?
I have a great De La Soul story, actually. So,
this is De La Soul, Nick. Like this is
Yeah,
De La
from
Soul.
the island.
Okay.
When I say it, it sounds corny, but I do know. Yeah, they're legit. I remember that was probably when I first heard something that I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to?
was it mini, say what?
It was-
Mini. Yeah.
It was between that and Teddy Pendergrass Love TKO.
Yo, Teddy Pendergrass.
I was like, you can just yell at
Teddy
people
Pendergrass
on
could have got.
songs?
Teddy Pendergrass could have got it.
Oh, Teddy got.
Yeah.
Oh, Teddy could
He
have
knew
got it.
exactly what
got
he
it.
was talking about.
Oh, but listen, you see the album cover with that fur, that fox fur. Sorry, Peter, I like fur.
Men. Would you say men had like back then a little
They
bit?
had swag.
They had.
Oh, and they were singing like, "I love you, I love." You know, they were pouring like.
Yeah.
Somebody had some good pussy out of there because they were singing like it was.
There was a lot of WAP back then.
Yeah. Unregulated WAP.
So my De La story
Yeah.
goes like this. Part of my DJ name, and it's funny because it wasn't my first DJ name. I actually had another DJ name prior to what I am right now.
Okay.
And it was Strobe Light Honey. There was a Black Sheep song.
Strobe Light Honey.
Yes.
You never told me this.
I don't think anybody knows, actually. You
Okay.
heard it first. So I love that song, Strobe Light Honey by Black Sheep. But when you watch the video and you listen to the lyrics, see, Strobe Light Honey to me is like you doing your thing and the strobe light's going, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a honey, right?
Oh, yeah, I do that.
But when you watch the video and you hear the lyrics, it's really talking about a guy that's in the club that's kicking it to a chick, and it's kind of the lights are dim, but then when the lights come on, ooh, she busted. So I couldn't have any of that
She busted what?
connotation with me
What she
because
bust?
I ain't busted. No, she's like,
Oh, she busted. Oh,
Like-
I thought she. Oh, sorry.
no, she. Oh. This ain't that type of party. It's early. We haven't smoked yet.
It's not even one yet.
So I
You could bust it
changed my
anytime.
name from Strobe Light Honey, and I was like, what am I going to be? And I was like, it got to be something dope and fly. And for such a long time, I just was like, what am I going to fucking call myself?
Sure.
But my height is 4'11". And one of my favorite groups of all time, other than A Tribe Called Quest, is De La Soul. And they have a track, I think it's on the 3 Feet High and Rising album, where there's a girl that's on this track. It's called I Am I Be. And the girl comes out and she's like, I am Shorty. I be 4'11". And I was like, that's it. I'm 4'11".
DJ 411.
And that's how that came out. So my friends from Atlanta were opening up for the Gorillas last October.
Okay.
And the Gorillas have a song, Feel Good Inc. with De La Soul. And so they were on the tour. So after my friends were performing, we all went backstage to the green room at TD Garden where we were chilling with De La Soul.
Right.
Maceo was not there, but Pastanus and Trugoy were there. And I was like, oh my God, this is like amazing, because I've met Maceo many times because he DJs frequently in New York.
Right.
He hangs out with some people I know. But I've never met the other two guys. And so I was excited. And I told them, you know, how I got my DJ name. And I will say they were like the most humble, down to earth, cool cats. Like, I mean, this is hip hop legends here.
Oh, for sure.
And they have like,
For sure.
oh, you want a sandwich? I'll make you a sandwich.
That's
You know
dope,
what I
man.
mean?
That's,
Just
yeah.
super cool.
Nick
super cool.
Nick does that for me a lot. Like he's like very hospitable. He'll make me a
Can
sandwich.
we get a sandwich, Nick?
We might have to go. We might have to outsource the materials. It's looking a little barren in there.
So we're chilling with them. And then I tell Pas that he resembles my first boyfriend when I was 17, 18.
Oh, okay.
And we went to this junior and senior prom together. And I said, I'm going to find a prom picture and show you. And so then I showed the guys and they were in hysterics. They were like, yo, this could be your family. And so I said, you know what would be really cool? If we recreate my prom picture. So Pastanus and I stood up in the corner. He like stood behind me, held my waist, and we took a now picture of my prom picture, sent it to my mother, and she's like, what is Mark doing in Boston? I was like, that's not Mark.
Oh.
She actually thought it was him.
That works.
Yeah.
It worked.
It's wild.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is like I got to meet some of my hip hop heroes that day. You know, it was a great day and they were so cool and the energy was great. And Dave actually said to me, yo, keep in touch. Here's my number. When you're DJing in New York, let me know if I'm free. I'll try to pull up.
Yeah.
And right before my BK event, I was texting him.
Oh, word?
Oh, here's where I'm gonna be.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
no pressure. If you're free to come by for an hour or whatever.
Sure.
Not knowing that he was actually ill, and then shortly after that, he passed.
Past,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So it's just crazy. But the even crazier part of this story is like, I got the news on Super Bowl Sunday, and I was heading to the liquor store to get some rosé because my girl just bought a house, so she was watching the game there. And I got the news, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was just chilling with them. Like, they were so cool. I was just like, damn, I smoked a ton. And when I left the Super Bowl Sunday
Sure,
party,
he played a lot of De La Soul music.
listen, when I left the party, I got in my car and I felt like crying. I was like, damn. So I said, let me play some gangster shit because I don't want to cry right now. So I'm like, let me play some Pusha T. So I put in some Pusha T, right? I got to drive from Randolph back to Alston.
Oh yeah.
And
It's a Pusha T.
I
Yeah.
put this
Drug Dealers
track
Anonymous.
on. If you know, you know, right?
If you know, you know.
2-3 seconds into the track, and I've heard this track 100 times. He says, I don't remember the exact lyrics, but he mentions plug 2 like True Goy.
What?
I was like, rewind. What? Here I am trying to forget the sadness that this guy, the legend, just died. I'm playing something else, and boom, he says his exact name in the track.
Wow.
I'm like, this
That's
is
wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And then on Valentine's Day, my phone does this weird thing where it just brings up a memory. It's not even like, oh, on this date, it's just random.
Right.
I would look at my phone, and it's the picture of me with De La.
Wow.
That's wild.
I'm like, yo, these little things are like, doo-doo-doo, like,
Sweet.
I don't know, man. Like for me, when those things happen, I'm like, those certain things like that, they take me on certain trips, because I get into like in the matrix of like, damn.
I'm like, Dave, are you trying to send me a message?
I think that makes me feel good when those things happen. I'm like, okay,
Things like that happen
Things
to
are
me
good.
pretty frequently.
Yeah.
It's wild, actually.
things are good. I think that people get when they get around music and when because Kanye was talking about this a long time ago. This was something he talked about where it was like when they listen to my music, it brings them back to this feeling. And I feel like that's something that you can give a lot of people when you're a DJ.
Absolutely.
And you must get that feeling a lot where you see people kind of go back to middle school, high school, prom.
Absolutely. So I just DJ'd an event in Rosendale and I played Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe. And the whole place went wild.
Boston, shout out.
You can't
It's what Chase
go
plays
wrong.
before he goes on and does stand-up.
You can't go wrong with Poison, right?
No, Poison, no.
No.
Poison is one of those things like you just, I don't know. It's always going to be like a universal.
It's going to be that track.
It's going to be that track. I do notice like when you DJ, when you DJ, you have your set, you're locked in. And then when people come up to you, they're like, can you play, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Megan Thee Stallion?
No, you're out. Take a walk.
Hit the road.
Kick rocks.
Hit the road.
Go home.
Seriously. If you want to listen to Megan Thee Stallion, go home.
I actually told her that. Listen, this is the thing that people don't get.
Yeah.
DJing
Be clear.
is math. There's math involved. You have to go by the
stand-up too.
beats per minute. So if I'm playing a track that's 89 BPMs and Holly wants me to play City Girls.
No, it's Holly from Randolph.
City Girls. Yeah. I'm not playing that shit anyway. That's trash.
Yeah.
But if it was a track that was passable, that I liked,
Right.
I might play it, but you got to get to it mathematically. Like if I'm 89 and that's 100, that's 20. That's like, no, that you can't, you got to build
up.
that. You got to play other tracks to get to that one.
Sure.
And that's what people don't get. They want their track now. Play it now. I want it now. Play my track. Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny. Fuck out of here.
It's the worst.
Fuck out of here.
There was a time when you remember that moment when those girls, that one girl, she was like with her other girls and she wanted you to play like reggaeton or something. And
Where were we at?
You were at that really nice place you DJ'd recently, and the girl kept on asking you to play music, and you were like, I can't. And she all left with her girls, She was mad, and she just all left with her girls. They got up and left with her girls,
That happens.
That happens, yeah.
Listen, what people don't get is like, if you're a server, I don't go to your job and tell you how to wait tables. This is my job. You are not paying me. I'm doing this. This is what I do. Don't come over here and tell me what to do.
Sure.
Or the other thing is people are like, do you have da-da-da-da? I don't. What kind of DJ are you? So are you going to a Chinese restaurant getting fucking
A Big Mac or anything?
getting chicken parmesan?
Depends on the
No, you're not.
Well, it depends on.
Yeah.
I know what place.
Damn, chicken parmesan sounds good.
one of those buffets. But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Extra,
Yeah,
extra
we don't.
sauce.
We're not
You don't
a jukebox.
you don't yell out, do the pigeon bit
Yeah.
when you're at a comedy show.
Yeah. Or
It's but that's technology. I think that's technology. I think that's being like, you know what, De La Soul, I have it on my phone. In 15 seconds, I can get the whole discography,
Right.
their bio, everything, and then I can
Now you
just
can.
swipe up and be done with it if I don't want it.
Right,
I think
right.
people are so used to that.
Right. They want instant gratification, and they all feel entitled. That's the problem.
It ruins it because when
And yeah, it does ruin it because it's like I got booked to DJ at Good Life, RIP Good Life. It was like, good hip hop.
Yes.
downstairs, right?
I was upstairs actually.
upstairs,
this
yeah.
time I was up.
Yeah.
I was there.
So I was playing Dwick by Gangstar.
Gangsta.
I said eeny, meeny, miny, mo, right? That's what I'm playing, okay? Just so you know my vibe. That's what I'm playing. And this girl comes up, can you play Megan Thee Stallion? I looked at her, I was like, no. You can't?
Did you whisper like that?
No, I cannot. Why not? It's my friend's birthday. Do you hear what I'm playing? Doesn't go what I'm playing, honey.
No.
And my boy Tao was standing next to me and was like in tears. He's like, I saw that whole thing happen.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing that.
As someone who used to request songs a lot until because I have my buddy who's a DJ and who turned me on to a lot of shit, and I'm like, oh, I've been doing it wrong the whole time. That's wrong. You should not be doing that.
Right.
So it was like a couple of years back. I was like, okay, you got to just let it ride out. Mm-hmm. But read the room. Help me understand like what your vibe is from when you accept a gig. Like, how do you accept a gig?
So, how I accept it is I have to see what my schedule is first, see, where it's at, the distance, how much time I got to put into getting there, putting together a set, what's the place like, what do I think the crowd is like, just doing a little research of what they want, what they're paying you for. Mm-hmm. I prefer to do an open format, which means I play whatever I want. I prefer to do that.
Will people tell you like, hey,
oh yeah,
people are going to request songs and you should play?
Yeah, so last night I DJ'd at Temescal. I've been there, a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's a heavy reggaeton vibe.
Yeah.
So, I throw in a lot of others as well because I'm still me and I still want my personality to shine. So I'll throw in De La, I'll throw in, Jay-Z, I'll throw in Shakira, I'll throw in some shit. But when people tell you and they book you, it's a heavy this, that's what you have to, stick to the script. And it's really like people last night, there was a group of people from Connecticut actually that wanted old school hip hop. And the guy was like, can you play some Tribe Called Quest? And I was like, you're asking me? And so then I went like this and I show him my tat. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I got a Tribe Called Quest tat right here. And the guy was like, yes.
Yeah.
So he was excited. And he was telling everybody at the table, like, I just requested a Tribe Called Quest song and she's got a tat. So that was kind of cool.
That's dope.
And then I was just playing, you were there. I was playing all the tracks like that were fun in that time. So, what was I playing last night? De La, I played Mary J. I played a lot of that golden hip hop era,
Oh yeah. Every time you play, like it's instant in terms of like when you play that music from that time, it's just timeless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
I've seen it. It's evident.
Right.
Me and you like travel a lot. Like, we've seen the country like for what it is. Like, in every single like club capacity or like entertainment capacity, when I see a DJ play like the newer stuff, okay, you'll get some like people like that love it and there's a market for that. Mm-hmm. But every time you play any music from that time period, from De La, Tribe, whatever, like you said, Smith and Wesson, like, any of those at that time, it's like people just move.
Yeah.
People just move.
They're nostalgic tracks. It's like music in that time will never be duplicated again.
I don't believe so.
We were
authentically
very lucky to grow up in the 90s where it was like, I remember like being in high school and it was like all of these albums came out the same year. What was it, 94, 95?
Yeah.
It was like Wu-Tang, all of these heavy hitters, Jay-Z, Nas, they all had album releases like all at the same time.
Big Pun.
And it was just like, oh my God, there's so much good shit. There's so much good shit coming out. And it was just, there'll never be a time like that again.
No, I don't believe so. I have to agree with you. I don't know if Nick agrees, but I would say, Nick's a little younger than us, but he still like is can understand. Like, you would just say, right? You would agree, right?
Yeah. Well, I think there was an element of you waiting for that music to come out, and then you putting the CD in and being like, well, I don't want to skip this because there might be something at the end. Like, if you didn't like a song, you're like, let me wait to the end. So you're listening to the full body of work.
Yes. Well, versus first it was tapes, then it was CDs, but I would take all the things, the paperwork out, read everything. Who did the drums? Who produced this?
Oh, yeah, because they had the little booklets.
Who sampled that? Who were they thanking? And I used to think, because when they used to do the thank yous, they would label the record labels and people, all the PR people, and I'd be like, oh, if I was an artist, I would contact them.
Right.
I always was on it.
I remember there was a time where, like you said, it was like late 90s, early 2000s, and street teams were a thing. Remember street teams?
I was on one.
You was on street team?
Yeah.
What street team was you on?
Hot 97.
So the street team.
Yes. Here in Boston, not New York. Here
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Boston.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot
That's
of fun.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
I remember having a Def
lot of
Jam Records jacket. This is how.
That would have been money right now.
I mean, you know, the Woo Wear. I had a Woo Wear leather jacket.
Listen, don't even get me started because my boy used to work for Loud Records. Shout out to Kingsley. And he would give me tons of merch.
Oh.
Okay. I had an exclusive Loud Wu-Tang hoodie that was like 4 sizes too big for me because I'm tiny. But when I moved here to Boston, I lived in Alston, and I put all my clothes in the laundry. So I had like 2 loads going. And when I went into this laundromat, I was like, this guy looks a little sus. But I was hungry because I'm a greedy ass bitch.
You be hungry.
And I went next door to get pizza. And when I came back out, the clothes were fucking wet. Let me just say, they were in the wash, wet.
He took it.
This dude stole all my clothes.
Wow.
And there goes the Wu-Tang Loud official exclusive hoodie from Loud Records. You can't find that hoodie. It's gone.
Lost, like, stolen merch is the
Wet.
worst.
Who steals wet clothes?
If it's the Wu Tang, you do what you got to
I mean,
do to
he
get
did.
it.
I
I'm
do.
He
just
didn't
saying,
know.
like, if I'm trying to steal something, I'm like not worried.
I'm
that it's
definitely- yeah, if it's
wet.
it's
Halfway clean.
Halfway.
If it was dirty, I'd still take
I
it.
was pissed. I still ate my pizza though.
You was eating
But
that
yeah,
you was
all my
eating-
clothes were stolen.
Damn.
And I had just moved here too. I moved here to Boston in 2001.
She's like, I need to get the
I was
fuck
like,
out of Boston.
He
She's like, I need
stole
to.
my clothes.
when you move to Boston, so with like comedy, Chase will kind of attest to this. Comedians will sometimes work rooms that they're good in or that they feel comfortable in, like kind of easy rooms. They say like I'll be able to like kill in this room, or if I go to this. Is that the same thing with DJs where you're like, I'm not gonna work that venue. It's just not my crowd, or
Yes.
like
Oh,
Absolutely.
I think we had a recent experience,
Absolutely.
right, TJ 411?
What was that experience?
There was a particular gig recently that I don't think you're going to be going back to at some point, but we won't. I don't know if you want to elaborate, but
People just are shady as fuck.
yeah.
the business of it sucks.
They try to pay you in drink tickets.
Well,
They try to not pay you.
that's what comedians actually get for the first 10 years.
Or they just
I was
wanna,
like, that
they
sounds-
want to hook up.
Yeah.
I'm like, this meeting is not for dating.
Yeah.
This is if you're gonna book me or not. I come across that more often than I'd like, and it's shitty. I don't need to fuck for gigs because I actually have talent. I'm not gonna do that.
That's like still a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
yeah. Before I was doing venues and getting paid to do it, I was very hungry, and I would tell anyone, "Yo, you want to practice with me? You want to come over and practice?" Like anyone, you're a DJ. You want to practice? I would just wanted to be absorbing everything from everywhere and everyone. You know, pick this up from this person, pick that up from that person, and I would exchange numbers with people. And I would hit them up like, hey, I'm free this time and this time if you want to come over for practice. Oh, you were serious about that?
Right. Yeah.
It's
Like,
wild.
what do you think I gave you my number for? It's not to go hang out.
Yeah, because people bullshit so much.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
when you're already down to work, people are like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. The crazy thing is I get more bookings from people that I don't even know.
yeah.
That's how it works.
People will slide in my DMs like, yo, I've been watching your reels. I like your vibe. You got some shit. You busy this day. DJ in Harlem. I'll take it.
What do you like? We talk about a lot about me and you about I guess the willingness to support people and your friends when they're doing a particular art or craft. You know, when you got into DJing, especially more seriously, has your view of that changed? Or basically, what I'm saying is, how do you view that area? Is it helpful? When people don't support when certain people you feel like don't support you and that you would think they did support you, you know, how do you feel about that?
So there's a lot of different factors here. Before I even got turntables, I would go to everyone's event that I believed in, you know? So before I even had the idea that I'm going to do this, I would go see other DJs because I always was into the music and into the scene. So I would go support people's events, whether it was like comedy, art, music, dancing, fashion, whatever. And then now fast forward to me being the person that's curating the vibe. It's funny to see the people that come out for you, that make time. There's people that are like, yeah, I'll definitely come see you. And they never show up. And then you just stop inviting them because it's like, I don't want to be a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And then there's people that you don't think are watching you. And then you bump into them in the street and they're like, yo, you're fucking everywhere.
Yes.
You keep doing you. And you're like, oh, you're paying attention? You've never liked it or hearted anything I do, but thank you. I appreciate it. So sometimes people are watching you don't know. You don't know they are. And then you're like, oh, these people are not giving me any props. They're not reposting my thing. They're not showing up for my gigs. People are busy.
Yes.
People are fucking busy. And it's cold. Who wants to come out? Nobody. But I'm very grateful and thankful for the people that do show up because people show up. I go to other states and people from other states go to that state to see me. It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
And it's very telling of how much they care about my craft and about me as a person, as a friend. You know, it's like my friends from Boston, you will go to New York to see me. My other friends, Tao, other people, Ashley, my family from Connecticut will go to New York when I'm in there. Like that to me it speaks volumes of these people are showing up because you could be doing anything, you know. Who wants to go out and it's fucking 0 degrees?
I believe, I always believe, like if you put your money where your mouth is when it comes to your friends, you know, pay for merch that they have. Don't ask for hookup,
right?
You know, pay for a shirt. You know, it'd be nice, if they give you a T-shirt here and there or something. But if you really want to support them, pay for a T-shirt. Pay for a ticket. If you're not going to go to their show, but they have a show, pay for a ticket.
Right.
And then, you know, support the ticket sales of that. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. You know what I mean?
There's also a lot of people that you just come across being out and about and they're like, yo, I really loved what you did tonight. And that's where the social media aspect for me comes in. I do everything myself. I cold call, I research, I investigate, I send clips, I send everything to people I don't know, businesses. I do all types of stuff on social media, and it's been working for me. I've been getting booked all over, you know.
And you just dove right in and just like, how much of your day do you spend marketing and promoting as like an individual act?
All day, every day. So you just reposting stuff, telling people where you're at, just staying relevant, making sure like you always have some kind of content out there. And people definitely notice. There was a time where I was like in a funk, in a mood, and I didn't post anything. And this girl was like, oh, me and my daughter love when you are in your car. I would record myself in the car going to work, and I would just be like rapping and stuff, singing, whatever. And she's like, me and my daughter look forward to those videos every day. And I was like, oh, shit.
There was what was the thing that you posted when I said, you said swords? What was the thing?
Oh, shit. You had some fucking liquid Band-Aid?
Yes. So I had an experience where I experienced like a liquid Band-Aid. I never had a liquid Band-Aid before. And we were smoking.
And we were high as shit.
And we were gone. Like we were good,
Oh,
but
no.
we were like, we when you smoke some of that devil's lettuce, you get a vibe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She was talking and she was smoking a joint and she was doing her, her posty thing.
Recording,
looking cute. She does a little. And
Chase does the same thing.
he does.
So I made a statement when I was high, and while I guess I interrupted her marketing time or something, and I go, "You ever used a liquid Band-Aid?" She goes, "What?" And actually, I want to pull it up.
Oh my
I want to pull it up. Do you have it saved in your thing?
I'd have to.
You have to search?
Yeah.
So anyways, I probably don't have it. But she goes, Liquid Band-Aid? No. And then I'm trying to explain it. She goes, I have liquid swords, nigga. I was like,
Which is the appropriate response to that.
Right. It all goes back to Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
liquid swords.
I left it up there for a couple of days, and then I was like, I dropped the N-word a few times, and
Yeah.
maybe it's time for it to go. You know, I'm trying to get some corporate gigs.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to get that Pfizer gig.
That shit may not be PC.
Yeah, positioning is very important, and you know, yeah, I've always kind of felt with that particular thing. I feel that's an important topic of like, you know, you always, for me, I feel like you always want to be yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, you always want to try to like be you. You know, but you do have to be like smart.
Yeah, you got to play
in this business, right?
Absolutely.
You know, there's times where like we'll have content and Nick will kind of like review it, or Nick will be like, nah, you know, we don't need to.
Yeah, because people think that it's like you put everything out all at once, and it's like that lives on the internet forever. People can just take that,
whatever.
and if you didn't mean, we had a clip about something, I forget it. I think it was about Ron DeSantis or something, and I said some shit where I'm just like trying to tee him up, and I'm like, nah, this doesn't sound right. I'm like, we gotta get this shit out of here. We gotta clip this shit. I don't want your fans thinking like I'm saying something that I don't mean or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, you gotta position yourself, and I think like, you know, at the end of the day, it's your brand. It's something that you take pride in, but you don't want to change up for, you know.
No.
You got to stay out there. How do you stay like authentic to what it is you do and who it is you're trying to entertain?
I just do me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yep.
You know, it's.
When did you figure that? When did you learn that it's like, all right, this is it. I'm not going to pretend to be or try to be something for somebody else.
I think I've always been that way.
Yeah.
I've been very independent, very strong-willed, hustler. That's how I've been my whole life.
Yeah. You got an interesting past.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You can ask my mother. I got a lot of beatings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was
same.
like, I'm gonna go play over here at my friend's house, even though my mom said go straight home at 5 years old, and I was like, I'm out. I'm playing.
Right.
I've always had that attitude. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to like people that are looking to get into DJing?
Know your craft. Study. You know, it's not just about like I know there's just people that are like, I'm like, how did you get into DJing? Oh, I wanted to get girls.
There's a lot of comedians like that too. They just do it to get girls and shit like that. Yeah.
I actually live and love and breathe this shit and have been my whole entire life. You know, I have been very lucky that my mom has allowed us to really cultivate our own personalities growing up. And she always supported that. And what advice do I give?
Guess you can't really.
You got to believe in yourself, number one. So, like I said, I got the turntables at 2015, 16. I just started doing venues in the last 2 years.
Yes.
So I was just doing house parties for friends, someone's so-and-so's, you know, birthday party, your birthday parties, my cousin's baby shower, you know. I was just doing that to build my confidence and get a feel of everything. And people were just, yo, you're good. You got something. Keep going, keep going. And these little one-off things built me up to like, I could do this. And here I am.
You did something for me where I was like, which was very kind of cool and special, and no one did it for me. And I had to like take a step back and actually analyze this, which was, I had a birthday coming up. This was, I want to say 2 years ago. Because I think we met about 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. We met 2 years ago. And we were talking about just, you know, things. And you mentioned, oh, when is your birthday? And I was like, oh, my birthday's in March, you know. And I'll probably will release this on my birthday too. But
Dope.
which is coming out, which my birthday's next week. You were like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I said, I'm not doing anything. I probably might do a set somewhere. You're like, no, you need to have a party. And I was like, oh, I love to party. I was like, but where am I going to have a party? I don't know where to like, most of my friends are out of Massachusetts,
Right.
And Nick, he was not being good at the time, so we weren't talking. But
Chase invited me the night of the event. I'm like, no, man, I'm sorry, I got other things going on, but let's catch up.
So we would have met back then?
yeah,
Oh, there's always this year. There's always next week.
you was like, you need a party. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I do need a party. I was like, but where do we party? You're like, at my house.
It's my house.
She goes, yeah, I'll DJ the party. You bring some things, I'll contribute some things, and other people will come and contribute some things. I was like, who's these other people? You're like, my fucking friends. I was like, but they're not my friends. They're like, motherfucker, you're my friend, so they're gonna be your friend. That's how it works. And I'm like, oh, that's how it works? You're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And you were the first person, I swear to God, in my 41 years on this earth, like from a friend standpoint, right, actually gave me a birthday party. And I had to think about that. And I'm like, yo, that's at that moment, fuck everything else, because we have history. I said, this is something that's like that is what you need in a friend. Mm-hmm. That is someone who like that's what you use to identify if someone's like cares about you.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're saying I should throw you a birthday party?
I mean, your time is gone.
Next week.
You should have been throwing a party.
Well, your birthday's not here yet.
I'm just saying because you were looking right at me when you were saying that. So
I don't have that nice apartment anymore, so I can't do it.
Oh
no. Well, the apartment you're in now.
But yeah.
Logistically, we have to make some changes, Nick. I wonder if you can help for DJ.
But birthdays for me are a very special thing.
You said that to me.
I grew up very humble beginnings.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
And one thing my mom always made sure we had was a good birthday. Like she would bake cupcakes or a cake.
Yeah.
And we would have a good time. And that was like the one time that was like super, super fun, And so for me, birthdays are a big deal. It's a time to celebrate your friends, your family, celebrate people that are important to you.
Yeah.
And, and then when you told me like, oh, I'd never had a birthday party, I was like, what?
I never did. I've had like as a kid, right? When your parents throw you, when you're a kid. Mm-hmm. And then I would go out on my birthday because in my 20s, I would just go to clubs. That's how I celebrated it. I'd get like a table, go crazy.
Right.
In my 30s, the same thing. I kind of like slowed down my 30s. I started stand-up comedy in my 30s. So I was already kind of like experienced and I had certain experiences at that time. So partying was like, I already vetted out partying because I partied so much in my 20s. So I the last 9 years has only been like in stand-up comedy clubs, right? So I kind of forgot how to party.
I love a house party.
But you kind of reintroduced me to the feeling of a good house party.
I grew up on house parties. So growing up as a teenager, 14, 15, my mother would allow us to have the parties at home. She, in her eyes, she would much rather us be where she can keep an eye on us than have us ripping and running in the streets where she don't know where we're at and what we're doing.
Right.
So it was very smart. It also, my friend growing up, Eloy was the DJ. So it was him, me, my brother, and a couple others. We would have these parties in my crib and have a great time. And that's when like 40 ounces of Old English and blunts were like the shit.
Oh, 40 ounces in Old English?
40 in a blunt.
I was a St. I special brew.
Oh, I used to love me a special brew.
What?
In the Method Man commercials?
This St. I special brew? I used to get that like...
Oh, those are malt things, malt drinks. They get you fucked up.
I was an E&J.
Ow.
I was an E&J guy.
He was fancy.
Or as Chase calls it, an outdoor drink.
He was fancy.
He's like, you don't consume that indoors. Yeah. That's what people drink outside.
Yeah, he's a North Shore. He's Andover, so they're a little.
So we would have house parties all the time. We would have house parties all the time.
Yeah.
I would let my friends in free. I would charge $5 anyone I didn't know. I'd make a stack of cash. I'd find mad dime bags of weed all over the house after we cleaned up, and miscellaneous coats and whatever, and I'd keep all that shit. So I was always like hustling some shit. Some of those records from 1994, 95, I still have those because my buddy who was the DJ was also selling drugs, and he would go to jail and do, 2 years here, come out,
Right.
sling some more drugs, go back.
Yeah.
And I held on to some of those records, and I still have them.
You still have the records. That's amazing.
And it's funny because me, him, and my brother, that's when Diggable Planets came out, and we would do the verses like we were them because it was 2 dudes and a girl. And so we would be like, me be the checklist step to my rap. We would do,
Yes.
all that. I've been in this, like, day one.
Day one. That's when you know. See, for me, I'm always in awe of people who kind of always kind of knew themselves at an early age, even though you're still evolving to become like who you are. But you get a general gist of like who you are. For me, I had to like evolve and kind of like go through things to get to the place like where I am now. But I always loved music because I used to be a dancer. I used to be in a dance group. It was called Armani.
Where's the footage, everyone?
I have footage.
Where's
it's
Coco
on
Panda?
Of course it
busting a
was.
move?
Of course it was called Armani.
It was called Armani. And we would, and there was a bunch of us, and we would, just like we had a house dancer, we had a couple break dancers, we had like someone who could pop lock, so we had everyone from each sector of like hip hop, and we would.
And your specialty was?
Oh, I was a pop locker person. Like I was like,
Excuse me.
yeah,
I didn't know this tidbit.
I did pop locking. I did some house. Yeah.
You had footwork?
I had some footwork. I couldn't do a windmill. That's the thing, because I was fat. So I would just look like a sea lion.
Oh my God.
Like, so it'd just be.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Yeah.
So I just knew they just put me in positions where I could win. So they were just like, you just stay stationary and just move around like this. So I always but now going forward, now you see yourself like, okay, this is what I want to do. It seems like this is something that you are continuing to do. Mm-hmm. Where does DJ 411 see herself? 2, 3, 4, or 5 years from now? Or do you look that far, or do you just kind of are one of these artists that just take it day by day and just kind of just go and see what accumulates?
No, I'm definitely striving to just become better at my craft, get more gigs. I would love to quit my day job and just do this full time. I've hustled and grinded for the past couple of years to put myself in the place that I am now, and I'm steadily booked. I needed to be more booked so that I can really just do and work and do what I want to do what my passion is. And I know I could do it. I know I could do it. Working a 40+ hour work week for another organization and then being tired, and I don't want to practice. I don't want to dig for records. I'm missing out on pouring all of that into myself. And I realize now I don't want to do this corporate shit anymore. I don't want to fuck around with this water cooler gossip and all this bullshit. I don't want to do it. If I could go to work, do my job, do a good job, get a check, clock out, boom, fine. But there's so much other things that just happen in jobs. It's like, it's all fuckery, and I'm all set. So I am really trying to just get this thing to the next level so that I don't have to do these fucking 9-to-5 jobs that I don't want to do.
What do you say to that, Nick?
I think that's great. Structure, right? A lot of it is probably structure, planning, when you're going to post, when you're going to practice, how you're going to deliver it. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Shit, I'm going to an open mic next week.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So we're in the same boat. I have a corporate job, and it's one of those things where it's not just a show up and kind of sit there thing. It's like you have to, you got to think, you got to. It's a lot that goes into it, and then you get home and you're kind of like, what the fuck am I gonna go to the goddamn?
You gotta deal with
the Briar or whatever shitty Boston bar here to wait for 3 hours to get up. But then you go, like I'll go with Chase, it's like Capo, I think last week or the week before, and I'm like, I fucking miss this shit. What the fuck am I doing?
I took him. I was just like, I'm sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Do you guys feel like alive when you're doing your thing? because I feel so alive when I'm up there doing my thing. I like forget all the bullshit. I'm just like having a good time, and the energy I get from everyone that's like, oh my God, and they're dancing, and they're like, oh, it's great. It's like I'm providing the feel good for everyone.
Yeah.
And that is great.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for Nick, but I can say for myself, like, I'm like an energy person. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I have to like give, like, I have to be give. I believe like, yes, the energy question. Yes, I feel alive. I feel like that is where I'm supposed to be. It's natural.
I feel the same way.
Like, I don't.
This is where I'm supposed.
This is where I'm supposed to be. I can be in many other places too.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Like, you know, I can shake and bake with the best of them. Put me in a room here, I'll figure it out. Put me in this room, I'll figure it out. But this is the area where it's like I have the power, the overall power of myself, and that's
right.
You can't like. I don't think there's nothing else better than that. You know. And then when I tell people, yeah, whether I get paid nothing or whether I get paid something, the feeling of it, of when I'm finished, is the same.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all done gigs for short money or no money with the hopes that somebody will be like, oh, that's great. Let me book you for this. Or, oh, this guy, I saw him over here. He's good. You know, I do that sometimes, not often, but I will if I think the end result would be someone booking me. And especially in other states, when I go to other states, people don't know me. My friends don't live there.
Yes. You're the first introduction.
I have to put on a display. It's like, oh, yeah, oh, you're a DJ? Great. So is everyone else, right?
Right.
So they're like, whatever. But then when you see me and you hear what I can do and you see my vibe, you're going to love my vibe.
You're going to love the vibe.
You're going to love it.
Yeah, you're an in-person person. In order for them to...
In-person person.
Yeah, you're an in-person person. They have to
that.
I feel like they have to experience you in real time.
Yes.
To get the real...
To really feel it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm posting a lot of reels and all that stuff, because anyone out there who doesn't know me, who doesn't know who DJ 411, DJ 411, it's interchangeable really. People that don't know who I am, you can get a tiny glimpse in that reel of my personality, my vibe, my style, what I like, what I'm playing. And I have fun. I just try to have fun.
Yeah. I think that's what matters at the end of the day. Being able to have fun, enjoying yourself, being able to know when to release, when you need to release whatever things that are bothering you, going to your special place or going to that special thing that makes you happy, you know? Because at the end of the day, as far as for me, I don't know for you, I don't know what's for Nick, how he views this. As far as I know, all I know is we only have now. You know? I hope
strike now,
you know? And it takes time. Sometimes we're not perfect, you know. Artists have a lot of shit going on in their head, you know. I think for me, it's more like challenging myself, knowing how to balance everything and knowing how to like schedule myself and not get overwhelmed when things don't go well. But I built up a certain confidence where it's like, if things don't go well, I'm okay with that. You know?
Right.
You just keep going, you know.
Go with the flow.
You go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go with the flow. So I think that from what I've seen you the last 2 years, because, you know, how you've, and there's other things, we got to do a part 2 for sure, because there's so much more to you aside from the music, you know. We've all kind of gone through things these last couple of years. You've gone through a lot of things, a lot of personal things. And to see someone to keep going, you know, I mean, God, we almost lost you in a car accident. Like,
I know, crazy, right?
Yeah, like we almost like lost us, like, you know,
crazy. Think about that.
Yeah, and to step away from that and say, oh, it could have been different. You know, so this podcast is always going to be predicated on like going after what you want to do, chase whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, and you are.
I'm coming for everything.
And where can people come for you?
Good question. So let's see. Let me look at my calendar. So I am currently booked March 11th, Roslindale, at a really cool spot, a brewery. They have a once a month dance party.
Nick, that's your
That's
area.
going to be in Rosendale. It's
Is it?
8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Nice and early. Get to come home, go to bed nice and early.
Okay. That's Nick. That's right up Nick's alley.
Yeah.
Told you, Nick.
The 19th, I will be doing a women's brunch in Providence.
Oh, I'll be there.
Oh, that's Chase's. Sounds right up Chase's alley.
The 24th, I'm DJing an all-girls B-girl jam from the Floor Lords.
Looks like I got a double header, Nick.
Got to stretch.
Let's see, the 25th, I'm going to be in Brooklyn DJing a roller skating party, a really dope spot that
Brooklyn
opened
Bowl?
up. No, not there. It's across the street from the Barclays. It's called Roller Wave.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be there. And April 1st, I'm going to be at Putt Shack here. It's a new spot that just opened. Looks really cool.
Hot Shack.
Nice.
Oh,
And then I got a booking in all the way in July
there you
for
go.
a women's conference. So that's on the agenda right now. More to be added.
And where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I am 411. That's IAMFOUR11 on IG, or I have another DJ page as well. I'm mashing them up. Sorry.
That's what you do.
DJ 411 Boston. So those are my two IGs. You can find me there. I post every week where I'm going to be. I'm always looking for more gigs. So if you need a DJ, if you know someone that needs one, holla.
That's right. And you can always find me, guys, always at Chase Abel, ChasCabel on Instagram. I'm at Chase Abel _comedian on TikTok. I have a TikTok. Yes, I do. Unfortunately.
I mean,
Hey,
listen,
ask her.
it's all free promotion.
Yeah.
It's all free
See?
I
promotion.
know.
I got all that shit too.
No, but I
I
just-
thought it was corny. I'm like, this TikTok shit's corny. But actually,
I get it.
when you get 1,800 views,
I get it.
those are 1,800 people that didn't know about you yesterday.
No, but that's just, but part of me still has to like shit on it because it's like it's still.
I mean, I don't like all that little bullshit.
the dancing in front
That
of the,
shit's whack.
Yeah.
That's not dancing.
no
Fuck is that? Fuck out of here with that shit.
bitch. Where?
And grown folks doing it? I mean, kids okay. But adults doing that shit? No, you gotta go.
No, thank you, sir.
You gotta go.
But you gotta have the Snapchat, the TikTok. You gotta have all that shit.
You gotta have all of it.
All that shit.
You gotta have all of it. So make sure you guys follow on all of our Instagrams. We'll make sure to put that up, of course, on the episode. Please follow at Nikki Neighborhoods Instagram. Nikki Neighborhoods, who brings us each and every week episodes produced and uncut. Except his Governor DeSantis piece he cut, but we'll.
Free Florida. Free those people, please.
Guys, make sure you follow DJ 411, please. One of the best DJs around, up and coming. She's already here. She's not up and coming. She's always been here.
I'm here.
But she's, please give her a follower. And we'll come back with another episode next week. Please share, like, subscribe. We have YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And just, subscribe. For the love of God.
Cut to the chase.
We out.